Hello everyone, Carolina Shooter Supply here today, and I'm going to demonstrate how to remove the fixed stock from the Russian VEPR12 shotgun. This version is the fixed tubular stock. It's the way this weapon is being imported today. There's two versions. They're similar. The difference being some of the stocks are fixed, and then some of them have a folding mechanism. So this is the fixed stock version, and we're going to remove this stock, show you how to do that. Okay, I've removed the guide rod and the bolt and carrier from my VEPR here, and I just want to show you what the rear trunnion looks like here. It's a much beefier rear trunnion than the original VEPRs that were being imported for years with the wooden stocks. These metal stock VEPRs have a totally different and unique rear trunnion. So what we have here is these two pins, which are basically right there. I hope you can see that. And those two pins are basically what's holding this stock in place, and we're going to have to remove those pins. So, but here's just to give you a view of how this stock, or how this is set up here. I'm just going to kind of video both sides of this. You can see the rivets that hold the trunnion in place. But these two pins that I'm talking about are basically right here and here, and you can see pretty easily what we're going to need to do is just basically drill those out. So I'm going to get busy with that. Okay, so just drilling these holes out. I'm using a 9/64 drill bit, which is close to 4 millimeter. These pins are 4 millimeter. You don't have to use the tap oil, but I usually just use a little bit of that, and we just basically start the hole, and then we're drilling these pins out. As simple as that. Okay, here's a close-up of the drilling so far. This pin is almost completely removed. I'm using the pin here and the pin here. So we're just going to continue to drill those until we get all the way through, and we'll be ready to remove the stock. Okay, I just wanted to stop and show you how it was going here. The metal is really hard as you start to drill down onto that pin. The stock will start to loosen up. You can see here how loose the stock has become, and actually on the right hand side this one has broken free, and on the left hand side I'm almost drilled through far enough. I'm just going to continue to drill that hole out, and eventually this stock will just kind of break free. Okay, I've just gotten this thing completely drilled through now, and you can see here's the stock removed, and you can see the pins right there. So let me clean this up, and then I'll give you a good view of the hole. Okay, I'm ready to install the adapter. Again, this is the part here. I've got my pistol grip. In the hardware kit, we've provided a screw that's a little bit longer than the standard screws that come with the pistol grips, which are 25. They're 6 millimeter by 25. This is 6 millimeters by 30. So we've gotten a little bit longer screw. The reason for that is the grip nut is going to be sitting a little bit higher than it would normally sit because of this adapter. And I like to put this washer shim kind of behind the head of the screw. So we've got that and the grip nut, and we're just going to slide the part. I've got the weapon turned upside down here in my vise, and we'll just slide the adapter in like so. That backwards. Put the grip nut in the slot, and then the pistol grip in place here, and the grip screw. Just gonna get that positioned in the hole. Okay, I've got my grip screw in now and just tightening it down. We do not want to over torque this, and I did not use any thread locker on that either. So we're just going to tighten that down until you're comfortable with the fit. But again, don't over torque it. It's not necessary. The adapter is going to be plenty tight. So we just tighten that down. And that's an adjustment you can always make if you need it tighter later. So here it is installed, and you can see what I was talking about, correcting the angle. The receiver is cut on a slant, but the adapter is correcting that problem, and it is flush and a 90-degree angle with the back of the receiver. Okay, I'm just going to review quickly the parts needed to install a collapsible stock on your VEPR12. Here's two examples of collapsible stocks. This is the Magpul CTR. This is our #1 selling collapsible stock. It's a real nice option. This is the Mako GL shock. It has a built-in shock absorber. That's a real good choice, especially for a VEPR12 12-gauge shotgun that has a lot of kick to it. This will help knock some of that kick down. The collapsible stock is going to fit on a buffer tube, so you would need to buy that, a buffer tube. This is a castle nut, which is going to lock the buffer tube to the pig nose. So pig nose adapter, castle nut, buffer tube. Those are the parts needed. Here's the adapter itself, and the pig nose, you can see, has a boss machined into it. The boss would fit right into the adapter like so. And then the last thing is folding mechanisms. If you want your stock to fold, we have a couple of different options. This is the Carolina Shooter Supply folding mechanism. It's got a push button release on it. Real nice part. And then there's also one made by Ace. The folding mechanism made by Ace would fit right onto the back of the adapter. It has a built-in pig nose, so you would not need the pig nose, just the castle nut and the buffer tube. So okay, so I've gone ahead and installed this Ace folding adapter onto the back of the VEPR, and just to demonstrate kind of how that works, the part is locked there, and then to open it or to unfold it, you basically just push down and fold it around. Okay, here it is fully installed. You've got the adapter here, the folding mechanism with the buffer tube, castle nut, the buffer tube itself, and the CTR, the Magpul CTR stock. And you can see that's a vast improvement from that fixed metal tubular stock with that awful cheek rest. So that's it. Now let me show you one other type of stock. This is a skeleton stock. It is similar to the stock that just came off of the weapon, although these are just a lot better made and more comfortable and have some features that I want to point out. This is the Ace tubular stock. It is a metal tube. It's a very good seller for us. It comes in 7.5, 8.5, and 9.5, so you can adjust the length of pull on that. And then we have the Carolina. This is the CSS skeleton stock, and this is going to bolt right onto the adapter. It has an adjustable cheek rest that you can fit on here, which can be adjusted all the way down or up to a height of about 1 inch. And then you can also get a butt pad in a 1/2 inch or 1 inch for that stock. So let me put this on the weapon, and again, it can be a folding stock if you install the folding mechanism. We have two different types of folding mechanisms. This is the push button, and then we also have a manual, the DPH manual folding mechanism. So let me put this on, show you what it looks like, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the push button folding mechanism. This is an optional item, but I like to install it so it folds to the left, which would put the push button underneath. You can also install it so that it folds to the right with the push button on top. And again, one last point with this part before I tighten it down, I just want to show you it can be adjusted. So this is something you can play with to vary the or adjust the cheek weld, the height of your cheek weld. And there's two sets of screws. So I'm using the top set here, so that's the highest it could go. And then in these settings it goes down, and then you could even go down a little bit further if you use the bottom screws. So another nice feature to this part, just wanted to point that out. Okay, so with that installed, again, it's the folding mechanism. You can adjust the tightness of this, and we're just going to shut it for now, but that's shut. And then to open it, we just push the button and it opens up. You can see how nice that is, just like that. Okay, here it is finished, and let me go over this again. This is the CSS skeleton stock with our push button folding mechanism. You can also get a cheek riser that'll fit on there, and that's an adjustable cheek riser, and a butt pad, either a 1/2 inch or a 1 inch ace butt pad. And let me just show you how that folds. Just with the push button, we get that thing just like that for storage, for carrying it on your back. That's a nice feature to have. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is show you the second point of attachment here, this hole, which is the center of the hole is exactly 1 inch from the back of the adapter. So we just need to find a spot 1 inch from this line here. I'd like to just make a little template for that out of paper here, and then just mark the template. Like so. We'll just get this set up to drill. I'm going to drill a pilot hole first, and then we'll drill the hole. Okay, so once you've got the hole drilled, I'm just going to insert the adapter here and install the screw. Again, I'm doing this part at the very end of the video because it's optional. In fact, I wouldn't do it on mine, but I know there are some people that want a second point of attachment just for extra security, and so that's why we've provided this drilled and tapped hole. Thanks. This is the new adapter for the VEPR12, and thanks for shopping at Carolina Shooter Supply.